Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Wednesday, and we are doing our noon broadcast. I'm glad you guys decided to stop in and hang out with us on today. Look, as always, I got to give a shout out. I got to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Now, Dr. Hunt has been traveling in life with me for 30 plus years. If you do not have a mentor, get one. Mentors are very valuable and very important to you and your family. So get you a mentor. They are so relevant in this time. Um, you know, I always got to give a shout out to our number one legend, Mr. Lee Michaels, which will be joining me shortly. So I'm expecting to have him on the show for the noon report as well on today. So I'm just waiting on him to enter into the broadcast. But, we're going to be talking about politics, which is our favorite subject. So, on this week, the Republicans, the House, they have control, assigned Santos, the elected Republican, George Santos from New York. They put him in two committees. Now, I think that was a very bad mistake because let's talk about a little bit about what's going on with Santos. Santos lied, he cheated, he frauded his way into office. And he's from the state of New York. The people of New York did not vote this man in office because he lied on who he was. So, many of the Republican Party are saying he ought to just resign and get out of this situation without any more disgrace. The leader of the House committee, McCarthy, is saying that unless they indict him, that they were not the ethics committee, they would not force him out. Now, the reason why, because he has a very thin margin of votes to get things done in the House. And he doesn't want to start, pushing people out of the House that would cause him to miss out on a very important vote of some kind. So I would encourage, the people of New York to begin to start speaking up on their own behalf. Some of the issues and some of the problems that are going on with Santos is the fact that hold on just a second. We're going to allow the legend to come in with us right now. There he is.
What's up?
From the great state of California.
That's right.
The elected
Sunshine
official,
and blue skies.
The elected official, Mr. Lee Michaels.
See, if you throw me in there in the politics, into the political game, and I run for an office, I couldn't win because I can't lie.
Oh, Lord. Nah. See, you right where I'm at. I was just talking about the people in New York did not elect George Santos into office because they don't know who George Santos is.
We still don't know who he is.
Exactly. So, his old college roommate said, that wasn't who he was when he was living with me.
Different name.
So this guy falsified everything in order to get elected. And now he's standing on the fact that the people of New York elected him. I think the people of New York got cheated. They need to stand up and they need to voice that we need to do a do-over because this is not the person that we thought he was with the credentials that he had.
Absolutely.
None of it is real. None of it is real.
Nothing. Nothing that he stated was real.
And then the benefit of the House at this point in time is the fact that, we need his vote. Okay.
Well, that's all it is. See, they're afraid to kick him out or make him resign, and then they'll have to do another election, and they don't want to do that because it's a chance that it could flip to being a Democrat.
Yes.
So the House Speaker doesn't want to lose not one more vote, because it'll cause more havoc for him. So it's against his personal benefit to let this boy go. But I think the people and certainly the media is going to keep the pressure on him. Rightly, that's the right thing to do. That's what the media is supposed to do: expose the bullshit. And he's been totally exposed. He's standing in the middle of the freeway, butt naked, and you can plainly see that this guy is not who he represented himself to be to earn the votes of the people in New York.
And
And
that's sad, and that's so
yeah, it
sad
is. But
because
you know what?
but at what point in time, is the House going to say the will of the people counts?
Right.
Okay, because
Well,
that's the important question. Because right now it's the will of the Republicans that they're trying to enforce right now.
that's
But
right.
when does the will of the people come into play?
When you take control of the situation and do the right thing,
Yeah.
you have to hold these guys that you hired. You elected these elected officials. You hired them with your vote. You have to hold them accountable. And the people, what was that, Long Island? That he,
I just know it's New York. Yeah.
yeah, Staten Island or Long Island, one of the islands,
Uh-huh.
one of the 5 boroughs. They need to stand out in the middle of the street, protest, and say, "This is not the guy I voted for."
Right. Because
Okay, the
because they don't
people
even know
in New
who he is.
York.
They don't know who he is.
No, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. This guy fabricated a whole history, and you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, but it's so factual. I want to thank the guy for showing us how bullshit the political process really is.
Yeah,
Now, New York is supposed to be one of the most populated, high intelligent states in the union. Okay.
right.
So this guy just showed everybody how bullshit the system is. Okay.
Well, you
I
know what?
can make up a
You're right.
history. I can make up, a dollar amount. I can make up anything and everything and get elected to the political system. And
That's
that's
true.
exactly what happened. So I applaud him for that.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to give Santos any credit for anything other than being a Mr. Haney from Green Acres. He hoodwinked everybody. But here, and I'm going to dig into another topic here in a second. But here's the bottom line: the Republican Party in the state of New York did not vet this guy.
And they
So
said that.
let's put the blame on the starting line.
That's right.
They did not check him out. They saw this guy that could talk the talk and walk the walk, and he looked good. And I think we got a winner here. Let's get behind this guy. You, Republican Party in the state of New York, and even in the local chapters, you failed. So I hold you accountable and responsible for this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde you created, and you're standing behind him. No, you need to stop. You need to protest. You need to demand the Speaker of the House and the what is it? The other investigative body in the House. They need to step up and make a decision about this guy's future, because he's not who he said he is, and we don't need another liar like the former president in the House of Representatives. We don't need that. This country does not need another fabricated asshole.
Absolutely. And they're checking into him. There may be
Hurry up.
some criminal charges that they can bring against him because
Yeah.
of his fundraising that he did in order to be able to get elected.
Yeah.
So they're talking about there's a possibility that there may be criminal charges forthcoming, and
Well,
at
let's
that
get it
point,
on.
yeah,
Hurry up.
and at that point, McCarthy will then say, "Oh, well, he did criminal activity," So in other words, in McCarthy's mind, lying is not a criminal activity. So if you go to court and lie, don't they
Wait a
call that
minute. Hold
perjury?
on.
Don't they call that perjury?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lying is a crime.
Well,
You can't sugarcoat that. I can
well,
tell you this: my mom and daddy didn't play that bullshit. Okay,
mine
if
either,
I
brother.
came in the house telling a lie, I got ivory soap in the mouth
Look,
and
wait a
an ass
minute.
whipping.
Look, they used to tell me, if you'll lie, you'll steal. If you'll steal, you'll lie. That was an
And you'll
old
kill,
saying from
you'll cheat,
way
you'll do
back in
anything.
the day.
My
So
mama and daddy and my grandmother used to tell me, boy, don't ever lie. Because if you tell one lie, you're going to have to tell another lie to cover up the first one. And it goes on and on and on. And you will dig yourself in a deep hole that you will never get out of.
right.
That sticks with me today. I'm 72 years old, and I still remember those words. And I tried to live by that.
Absolutely. The truth will set you free.
That's right.
Absolutely. So
The only
now,
time I lie is when I'm in a casino and I'm trying to rob the damn casino table.
So I know this is the noon report, and we talked about politics. You just said you had something else that you wanted to bring up. What else you got?
Yeah, I want to dig into this whole missing document thing, the comparison between Trump and Biden in terms of how they handle the documents that they should not have had. One thing I can say is clear as a bell, and we've talked about this before, but Donald Trump lied, another liar, about having the documents, and then he tried to cover it up by saying, well, I was the president and I declassified these documents. No, it doesn't work that way.
Just by thinking about it.
Right. Because I said so. No, jackass, we ain't going for that. And then 15, 16, 18 months later, the FBI, the CIA, the Boy Scouts of America, everybody else had to go in and get those documents. And they still tripping. Okay, his lawyers lied for months, saying, no, we don't have any more. Everything's cool. They need to go to jail along with his sons, his daughter, the cat, the dog, his freaky ass wife, and everybody else associated with Donald Trump. You are an accessory to the crime because you didn't stop this monkey. Right. Same thing with your dysfunctional Uncle Jojo. He's crazy. He gets drunk every night. He goes home and beats his wife. And you, as a family member, allow it to continue. So I hold the whole circle around this jackrabbit to be accountable and an accessory to the crime that's been committed on the United States of America. And more importantly, I would hope that we've learned from this and fully vet and make sure that the next president we vote for is who he say he is or she is, and make them live up to their word. Now, as it relates to Biden evidently, his lawyers say, okay, let's do some internal checking here to find out maybe if there's some documents that we shouldn't have. Well, they found some in two different places, as I know it. And maybe there's some more out there. Who knows? But they did the right thing. They contacted the archives and the Justice Department and said, hey, we got some documents over here. We want to turn them in. We shouldn't have them.
Right.
That's the honorable thing. That is the process. That is how it's supposed to go. Donald Trump did the stiff hand and said, no, these are mine.
Right.
And then whatever I got, I've declassified, so they're not classified anymore.
Yeah, bullshit. He fought it.
Exactly. So that's the difference, folks.
Yeah.
Now people want to say Joe Biden is senile and crazy and all that stuff. He might be a little on the edge on some things. The guy does have a speech impediment. So when he makes mistakes and stuff like that, it's because there's a disconnect there between his brain and his tongue. And everybody goes through that. I even do it myself. I'm 72. I might say any damn thing and go, oh, why did I say that? It didn't come out right. But
Absolutely.
the bottom line is I have to show respect for Biden because him and his team did the right thing. They turned the
Absolutely.
documents in. Then the Republicans want to say, well, they knew in November that he had to. It's a process, jackass.
Right.
You first report it, then you talk about what you want, how it's supposed to be turned in, and then evaluate it, and it's a process. So don't try to make it a criminal thing, because if the documents were discovered in November, they notified the Justice Department, they notified the archives, boom, 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 boom. Then they have to put everything in motion, get those documents back in a secure way. Now, here's my question. So we've got two situations here. We got a non-vetted congressional member that's in the House of Representatives now. We don't know his name. We don't know if it's really George Santos or this other name that his roommate came up and said that's who he knew him as. Plus, he stole a scarf that we've seen him in the media with, this black and white, horizontal line on it. That's a $400 scarf he got from somebody that he didn't return. So he stole it. That's how that goes.
Right.
But the vetting process needs to be amplified, put into full gear. On anybody that runs for an office, their background check needs to go knee deep to find out who that person really is. Now, let's jump on the archives. There has to be a better system
Absolutely.
in place to verify where various documents are or are not.
Absolutely.
So again, let's be real. The archive system is broken, just like the system with the FAA is broken, needs to be fixed. The computer system is 30 years old. So let's get shit together. Let's fix the infrastructure. Let's fix the FAA system. Let's fix the archive system. So nothing goes anywhere without the archives knowing the whereabouts.
Absolutely.
If we have to put Apple tags, damn it, on every document, let's do that.
Right.
So we can follow the documents.
GPS.
That's right. Whatever you got to do. I'm making fun of it, but the reality is the archive system obviously has holes in it, and we need to figure out a way to fix that.
Absolutely.
We're the greatest country in the world. We got some of the smartest people in the world, except for Elon Musk.
Allegedly. You got to use the word allegedly.
Well, I'm on the side of a proud American, and we got some of the smartest people in the world. We can certainly fix these kind of problems. Let's get to it.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. The system is broken, and it's an opportunity to because we have two different types of cases where documents are in the wrong place.
Right.
And if they, not knowing that their documents were missing, because they didn't know, the archives didn't know till somebody told them.
Yeah, exactly.
And the situation with Trump, they asked him for those documents over and over and over again.
Yep.
Before it got to a court case. So
That's right.
That situation, they were aware of some documents, not hundreds of documents.
Yep. They didn't know what they didn't know. They just knew something was missing.
And in the case of Vice President Biden, there were only 10. They said it was only 10 documents, not
whatever
hundreds.
number it is.
Yeah,
he didn't try to own them.
No,
say I'm not giving them back or they don't exist.
Right.
He says, hey, I found some shit in the shoebox.
Absolutely.
Whatever. Yes. And he returned them.
Yes. Well, I just happened to look up and notice that we do have some people commenting. Laura Rice says Long Island 3rd District in reference to Santos.
Right.
Mr. Haney always got over. And the Democrats don't challenge Santos' identity, which is something they have the right to do as well.
Exactly.
Or qualification. Both parties are to blame, Laura says. Our brother in broadcasting, Reggie, says, what's up? George Feathersby said Biden should just declassify them, and then it's all good. Just like Trump pardoned all his co-conspirators in the 11th hour of his last day of presidency.
Exactly.
Laura says DeSantis allegedly stole his former roommate's Burberry scarf. Great idea for tagging. Not sure you're still the country. Laura says, does anyone think that the Biden documents were planted? Now, I have to go along with that concept myself. Why
It's
all
a
of
possibility.
a sudden, you've got a box full of documents that show up in his garage next to his Corvette? You know, and see, that's something that I would be interesting to find out, because they don't have a sign in or a sign out sheet to the garage or to his residence, but there might be some cameras available to actually determine who actually put that box there and when.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're right. And I think we need to look into those kind of situations. But when the president and the vice president evacuates their residency, the White House or the vice president's residence, they're not, like you and I, we're going in and get some boxes from, U-Haul,
Home Depot
and go through the cabinets
and
shit and put all this stuff in a box and tape it up.
They got a team.
It's a team of people.
Right.
And in the effort, in that short window of several hours that you have to get out of the house and then make way for the new person, it's very fast. I mean, the trucks are waiting.
Right. That's right.
To be loaded up and get out.
That's right.
So I would bet that some assistant, secretary, associate, or whatever to the vice president or the president is going through those offices and say, okay, we got to get out. We got 15 minutes to get the freak out of here.
Absolutely.
Let's get it going. Okay, put all this shit in some boxes. Where's this box going? Let's go into my house. Okay, but he don't know what's in those boxes.
Absolutely.
And I would bet the same situation to a certain degree happened with Trump, except that because he doesn't have the trustworthiness, I think his shit is more malicious and by design and intentional than what other presidents have happened. So if we want to do this right, why don't we go back over the last 50 or 100 years and look at what documents some former presidents, whether it's Obama, the Bushes, Nixon, and everybody else.
Yeah, because the system was broke. The archive cannot say what they don't have, what they should have,
exactly,
and where it's at. Even if they don't have it, where is it at?
That's right.
You know, who has it? You know, shout out to my brother in broadcasting, our brother in broadcasting, Chris Bass. He said, "What's up, good brothers? Continue to keep the faith."
That's all we got, bro. Thank you, Chris. We love you.
Yeah. Laura says, "No, Lee, Trump waited for the last minute thinking he was going to remain president." Now that's true.
That's a good point, Laura. You're right.
Yeah. And and then going back to what you said about moving companies, and I know you got some experience and I've got some experience in dealing with moving companies and getting folks out of one location, putting it on the truck. That is a very hectic moment.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I've moved at least 20 times. I know.
And when the crew shows up, you're hoping that you got all your stuff, packed up and ready to go.
That's right. I know. I've moved so many times. The last thing I could do is walk through the house and make sure everything is out. And I remember one time when I was leaving Northern California, the truck was getting ready to get buttoned up and everything. I walked through again, and I couldn't find my wife. And I said, "Well, is she on the truck?" Where is she? Because I had planned to leave her in the closet somewhere. I was going to lock her ass in the house. Well, she ended up being my ex-wife at that point. So, you know what I mean?
You know this is a live broadcast, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Look,
I was trying to make sure I had left her behind, but hey, she
yeah,
got away.
but I had a friend of mine. He said he moved into his house 30 years ago, and he bought a box to his house and put it in the garage. And they were in the process of packing up because they were leaving their house after being there for 30 years.
Right.
He found this box in his garage that has not been opened up for 30 years.
30 years.
So he said he took that box and put it in the garbage. If I ain't needed it in 30
30
years,
years.
I'm not gonna
Even
look
if
in
there's
there.
important tax documents in there from 30 years ago, they are irrelevant today.
Yeah, he's
You
like,
know what I
man,
mean?
I don't even want to know what's in this box.
Right.
You
I
know,
agree. And I
so
probably got some
that's
boxes that
just
I haven't opened in 25 years.
and I know the last time that you did a move from Vegas to LA, you still got stuff in storage that you don't know where.
I got 3 storage bins in Las Vegas and 1 in LA. Okay. I'm paying for 4 storage bins, and I guarantee you 50% of the stuff in those storage bins I don't need. So between now and the first of the month, before another bill hits my damn bank, I'm going through all 4 of those things and downsize, and only the things that I really need, not want, need, is going to stay. And I guarantee you, I can get rid of at least 3 of them.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna join forces with Mr. Bass. We're gonna get a U-Haul and meet you at those storage bins. So when you start throwing stuff out, we can load it on a U-Haul.
and then you can pick up that bill and store it somewhere. I
Uh,
forgot one. There's a store. We have a storage bin in Chicago
oh wow,
that's at least 7 years old.
wow,
That's nothing but vinyl and CDs and
right.
tape.
So we
So
ain't got to go to California. We can stay right here and just help you unload this one.
no, I don't even want to load it. I want to go in and catalog all that shit and sell it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
sell that vinyl. So folks, look out. I'm gonna create a website. Have all these great songs, albums, 45s, vinyl,
Yes,
picture
dear.
disc, everything.
And it's priceless right now
Yeah,
because there
and it's all
are
version.
right, and
99% of it never
it's
even been played.
all current now. All the old music that's on vinyl has now become current, and people want it. They're
That's
looking
right.
for it, so it's priceless at this point in time.
Right.
So
Exactly.
now we started this new show, the Noon Report, right here on Street News Now. And if you're not familiar with Street News Now and you would like to be familiar with Street News Now and start your own broadcast, start your own show, you can reach out to any of the administration and they will help talk you through the ability to be able to establish your own show right here on Street News Now. This is the creation of the legend, Mr. Lee Michaels. And we've got the time, we've got the broadcasting ability to be able to help somebody create something great over here. So if you have a desire to want to be on this network, please reach out to myself or Lee or anybody on the administrative staff, and we will be glad to help you become part of the family over here to be able to get your message out. Whatever your message is, we want to help you get it out there. So reach out to us and we can talk it over and help you get going. I know we don't want to keep it long. We like, because we can go. I can go, Lee can go. We can keep it going a very long period of time.
Yeah, I
But
got a Zoom call in 1 minute, so hurry up.
okay. So we're gonna let you get your word in now then so I can close it out. How's that?
All right. Well, listen, thanks folks for tuning in, and we do this.
Uh-oh. You sound like his phone started ringing. Somebody calling you. You blinked out. Go
Probably.
ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Say
that's
it again.
probably my Zoom call.
Okay.
And we appreciate your viewership. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Send it around to all your friends and neighbors, and bring it. Let's build this network up. Thank you. We love you, and be safe.
All right. That's our legend, the founder who made this possible. So I know we appreciate you all. This is the Noon Report, and I want you guys to spread the word. Definitely, tell somebody about the broadcast. have somebody like, share, and subscribe. And, it's not hard to be a part of a family. We are a family over here. So I encourage you all to find the time and let's do this. So we'll see you guys on next week on the Noon Report. Don't know if Lee's going to be here, but if he is, we'll have another great conversation, commentary, news brief. Please come back and join us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love you. Stay safe. Peace.